Hello everybody and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips, and I have a couple of announcements first. One is on Saturday, March 8th, that's this week. If you're in driving distance of Columbus, we're doing a Women's Health Symposium. It's a 5-hour event that includes lunch, and we're going to talk about breast cancer and reproductive health and menopause and hormones and all kinds of stuff pertaining to women's health. And then on Monday, March 10th, Chef Dell has conversations with Chef Dell, and he's going to talk about winter vegetables. It's a fabulous, fabulous event always. He's so talented with food. And then the subjects for advanced study in March are, the topic for the advanced study program in March is Peter Gatschke's new book, Deadly Medicines and Organized Crime. Gatschke is head of the Cochrane Collaboration, and you might remember last year I did a very long series on his book, Truth, Lies, and Mammography. This is his latest book. It's very expensive, so probably most of you aren't going to buy it. It costs almost $50, but you can listen to me talk about it, and I'll give you slides if you decide to participate in that. So let us know if this is something that you, any of these things, are things that you want to do. All right, I have a couple of topics to talk about today, and I'll just start with 2 weeks ago I delivered a talk to, it was based on my book, Food Over Medicine, to a group of students at a local university. And there was a great Q&A afterwards. The kids were really interested in what I had to say. They were smart, thinking, engaged, wanted to learn more. But a couple of them took issue with some of the things that I said about being careful when you interact with doctors. The idea that you could actually get hurt by making wrong medical decisions or that health professionals might harm you was really foreign to them. So I asked a trick question based on something I read right before I left for the lecture. And here's the question: where do at least 50% of doctors go online to get information about how to treat patients? Well, the answers were predictable. Medical journals, college textbooks, colleagues. The right answer is Wikipedia. Yes, you heard me right. Wikipedia. According to a new report from the IMS Institute for Healthcare Informatics, Wikipedia, this is a quote, Wikipedia is the leading single source of healthcare information for patients and healthcare professionals, and nearly 50% of U.S. physicians who go online for professional purposes use Wikipedia for information, especially on specific conditions. Now, we can all agree that Wikipedia is not the best source of information for anything, but it is almost incomprehensible that doctors would be using it. The researchers included Wikipedia along with all types of social media. What they were trying to figure out is where do patients and doctors go for information? How do they interact with each other online? That was the purpose of the study. The report states that physicians spend twice as much time looking online for resources as they do on print. Now that by itself is not concerning. I do it too. But what they view certainly is. During an average of 3 hours a week spent looking at videos online, docs rate their top sites as Medscape, that's not so bad, YouTube, not great, and videos posted on drug company websites, not good at all. As for Wikipedia, an analysis showed that the top five visits were for topics like tuberculosis, Crohn's disease, pneumonia, multiple sclerosis, and diabetes. The IMS report notes that, quote, rarer diseases often have fewer available information sources and often are less well understood by the average patient and clinician than common conditions. So that's the justification for using Wikipedia. Now, come on. Clinicians have to rely on Wikipedia for information about diabetes and Crohn's disease. These are not rare conditions, for crying out loud. I guess doctors figure, well, with the visits to YouTube, the drug company sites, and Wikipedia, gosh, it's amazing they even think they need to go to medical school. I am appalled at this, as you can tell. The IMS reports an interesting trend concerning patient views of Wikipedia. Spikes in illness and the diagnosis of illness can actually be correlated with Wikipedia page views. In my opinion, this probably represents consumers going online to get information and self-diagnose. Not entirely a bad idea, just potentially a bad source. Once self-diagnosed, the problem then is the drug companies are advertising all over television, providing enticements, go to your doctor and ask for this drug. And of course, the doctors are watching videos on the drug company's website. I mean, talk about a perfect collision of awfulness right in the doctor's office. Patients and doctors getting bad information from the worst sources possible, convening to talk about health outcomes. The IMS report did point out one major benefit of patients doing research, and that is, however misdirected it might be, the rise of the empowered patient, as they say, may threaten the previous stature of the physician as the sole decision maker, because empowered patients tend to take matters into their own hands more. That's a good thing. It'll be an even better thing if we can lead people to more accurate sources of information, particularly doctors. So come on, people. I'm talking to my colleagues now. Get yourself out of the Wikipedia website and into the medical journals and read some scientific research. All right, next topic. Dr. T. Colin Campbell says in his book, Whole, Rethinking the Science of Nutrition, that the supplement industry has actually done a better job than the drug companies on advertising and promotion. Kind of hard to believe. There's not as much money, by the way, in supplements. We all know that. But supplement manufacturers and their advocates have convinced the public that supplements are safe, natural, effective, and that they can even be better than food or eating, or at least a substitute for food. Well, at least the drug companies don't try to tell everybody that their products are natural. Well, most of the claims made by the supplement companies aren't true. Particularly the safety issue is becoming a more concerning issue. According to a new study, about 20% of liver injuries resulting in hospitalization are a result of supplements. 10 years ago, it was only 7%, and most likely it is due to the increased number of people who are taking the pills. Right now, it's estimated that over half of all Americans take supplements regularly. Most patients recover after they stop taking the supplements and get treated, but some experience permanent liver damage and some require a transplant. The supplements most likely to cause liver damage, and this is not surprising, are those that are marketed to bodybuilders, many of which contain steroids not listed on the labels. The other category are products promising increased energy and weight loss. Now, the data were from the Drug-Induced Liver Injury Network, which tracks patients who have liver damage when they get to the hospital. And 845 patients with severe drug-induced liver damages were included, and the researchers focused only on cases in which all other causes could be ruled out. Many of the patients were young men who were taking supplements for bodybuilding and middle-aged women who were taking supplements for, you guessed it, weight loss and more energy. 12 of the female patients required liver transplants, and 3 of them died. The researchers reported that it was sometimes sort of difficult to figure out the exact cause of the injury since many of the patients were taking lots of products, and some of those products contained as many as 30 ingredients. But one that was common was green tea extract, which is advertised as building your metabolism and helping with weight loss. Each extract pill contains many times the amount of catechins, which is an antioxidant found in green tea, that you would find in drinking several cups of tea. So this is an example of why it is so much better to deal with the whole food and consume that than supplements. Catechins by themselves are toxic, while catechins in green tea consumed in the green tea itself have been consumed safely and with great results for thousands of years. Now, to be fair, most of the liver injuries were drugs, not supplements. But the point is that supplements are not always safe. In other words, far more drug injuries, but the assumption that because it's a dietary supplement, it is safe is inaccurate. And also, to be fair, in response to this study, there are a lot of people that are saying, see, the FDA needs to get involved and take care of safety issues and efficacy issues, and they want to call for more regulation. And I am not for that, and I'll tell you why. Prior to the DSHEA Act, the Dietary Supplement Health Education Act, the FDA, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms people, and other federal agencies were raiding doctors' offices, holding employees and patients at gunpoint, and hauling out files and vitamin C pills. It's absolutely ridiculous, and then charging practitioners with federal crimes. This behavior, in addition to the gross incompetence and financial conflicts of interest in the improving and regulating of drugs, should be clear signs, I think, to all of us that the FDA does not need more responsibility. It does not need more to do. As it stands, the FDA can take unsafe products off the market. They do it every year. And the FTC can regulate false claims made in advertising. So I am not for more incompetent and overreaching government regulation. Government, by the way, was completely ineffective in addressing the smoking issue. The trial lawyers took care of that for us. And government bureaucrats and their meddling in everything from food policy to insurance mandates have done nothing to improve public health. Educating the public one person at a time is our only hope. And at the Wellness Forum, by the way, that is our only business. And that's how we're actually going to win this in the long term. So bottom line, I guess the summary for today, take everything a doctor tells you with a grain of salt. He might have read it on Wikipedia. And be careful about those supplements. All right, that's all for now. Have a great day. I'll be back to you again on Thursday and pass this on to anybody who you think ought to be watching it.